going to talk about my personal experience at CHEAC doing research here, and I would like to stress what kind of good lessons I have learned here. And that means I will make an advertisement. Are you already recording? Okay, so in that case I should tell that I'm glad, and I'm really glad to talk about the High-Entropy Alloy Center, because this is the center of High-Entropy Alloy Catalysis. We're here in Denmark, in Copenhagen. And let's just tell some words about, I think it doesn't show everything because they are somewhat cut. But okay, so this is first of all, it's the Center of Excellence. I should also acknowledge the Danish Foundation. How is it exactly, DNRF?
That is the one you have.
Yeah.
Yes, it is Danish Research
National
Foundations. Great, we acknowledge them as well. And for those who don't know what's CHEAC, we are here targeting all these dream reactions that can lead to sustainable future. And for me, I personally, CHEAC, it means approach foremost, and then people, all you, and also the methods that we use to do the research, and like the last but not the least is a lot of new ideas. And I put some pictures here. So actually, well, I remember that I put it, and then I saw that Jan's face is like very narrow. And I thought maybe it cannot be, so I shrinked a bit. And that's what theoreticians do. But actually I see that Jan's face is, it is narrow. What happens next is that all the other faces, especially Matthias, it became almost square. In a way it's a metaphor of what I would say we are doing here, because I belong to the center for 2 years. We're trying to combine theory, experiment, synthesis, computations all together. Sometimes we shrink something and then it becomes unproportional, but we are most interested in not reproducing the experiment, we are most interested in trends, what Jan repeated many times. And so what you can see the trends now, Soren is he here? No, but now there are more people with glasses in that team. And yes, now we can do some trends. I would not stop you, you can do it yourself. Also, they are smiling, all of them. That's very positive, right? Also, Matthias, but this is his smile. So my motivation for this talk, first of all, I just wanted to say thanks, because last time I announced that I'm going to talk about something experience here, and I didn't. I left somehow. I did some more scientific presentation, and I felt that I would like to say thank and complete the presentation. By the way, the slides from the University of Copenhagen, I'm not here anymore, but I have started this presentation a year ago, and I wanted to finish it, to present. And then I would like to motivate researchers who would like to visit CHEAC. Why should you come here? And I hope that we will record and I'll just post it as it is to YouTube, so someone will just see the video and will get inspired. And then I would like to motivate all these students who are right here, because you know this is a great place to be, and you have a great time. You should understand this time is going to end soon. And let's appreciate what we're going to do here. And then you will become a postdoc, and for postdoc I just would like to encourage them to think ahead. What have you learned at the Excellence Center, and what you will bring to the world after that? So this is my motivation, let's go. Not so many slides. I need to talk about myself as well. So I moved from Estonia, right here, very close to Denmark, just south. You can imagine you are not the north country, to me you're in the south. I went to south country, and a bit to west. And it was 2 years ago, and my motivation was that, you know, we are measuring all this success in citations. My numbers are pretty mean, it's less than average probably, so I don't want to show off, but I would like to say that I'm more close to average. I had some increases and decreases. I had some explanation for that, of course, but the point is that at some point of my life I just saw that I would like to go and learn somewhere, because I would like to do something with my career, and that's when I got the Marie Skłodowska-Curie just to come here. It's a European grant, it gives you money to do the research somewhere abroad, and that's what I wanted. And you know, I chose this grant because it is meant to support and foster excellence in research and support careers. And that's what I needed to support in my career, because I needed to learn how to do research at such level that it becomes sustainable and my publications will go up. And by the way, what Jan told me from the very beginning, just do well. Whatever you do, just do well. And it worked. But I wanted to show you that I also came here with a family, and that's another dimension in research, life-work balance, and it is perfect here in Denmark. I don't know how to explain, I would need several hours, I just stated. So, from the other point, it's not only about me, it's where I go. And I choose this center because it is excellence center. And what does it in general mean? Let me just read, because I forgot that I wrote here. So, an excellence research center works to discover new things and create helpful ideas while helping young scientists learn and grow. As one of the definitions with easy language, it should be understandable to each other. It's not just doing research, it's also supporting the people, and it's like incubator where you grow, let's say talents, but we don't need to exaggerate. People grow here, personally and scientifically. So we discussed a lot of books, and I'm really glad that not only with Jan, but other people, and these are 3 books I really love. So during 2 years, I've read them and discussed with my colleagues. And I'm going for Estonia, so for me, here is actually in Estonian something with very good, kind, well, almost like well-being, because Heaolo is exactly wellness. So you're doing good stuff here, CHEAC inside, in the core, it's already great. But also, if you think about what a person needs in life, you can refer to Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Have you heard about this? Can you raise your hand? Something, right? Okay, you know about it. And let me just put it in such a perspective that at the CHEAC, well, we have this zoological needs, we can have lunch together exactly in this room, and we have beer Fridays. And then for safety, I like that doors are always open here. So someone who hasn't traveled abroad yet, if you go to other laboratories, it will be like a long corridor with closed doors, and you need to knock. And somewhere, in some places, you need to open the gates to professor room, not just the door. And here it's always open. So it's about safety. Also, we have a parking downstairs. I've learned it after half a year, and I was like shocked that, okay, you can safely park your bike. My bike was some days. It's a topic in Denmark, bikes. It's good that we have a parking here. So the belonging is, of course, the CHEAC. It's the atmosphere here. At least in this room, you can already see that we are all together. Also, this is mostly theoreticians. Where are the experimentalists? Some experimentalists here? Tatiana.
No.
I'm very glad.
Oh,
great. So
supervisor, finding supervisor.
Great. It's for the video, for the record, it's because a lot of people are doing some advertisements of the group to bachelor students downstairs, right? But this is indeed that the atmosphere of CHEAC is uniting people from different disciplines, and by that I mean combining theory and experiment, which I will explain a bit later. And we have these meetings at retreats, perfect events with a specific focus on making the group work together, joining people, creating teams. And finally, the self-actualization is the approach, and I will talk about this a bit more, because when I was here for 2 years, I was actually constantly learning. And it's not only about the CHEAC, because the whole University of Copenhagen is a great place. You can learn a lot of stuff, and mostly when we talk about, for example, responsible conduct of research, most of the people here will say that it is meaningless, waste of time, you must go, it's obligatory for everyone who comes here, you must go there. But I would take another perspective. I've learned a lot of things. I learned, actually, they teach you how not to do and how to behave right, to do the science properly. And when you go to some other places, they are not informed about this, they haven't thought about this. So for some people who are doing research in a very good environment, for them it's natural. But it doesn't mean that in the whole world it's like this. So bringing this knowledge further, this is exactly matching the aim of the center of excellence, any center of excellence, that spreading the excellence around. And just taking this small course with very obvious advices is one small step. Great. So I also list something here. My main point is that it's a great place to learn, not only in the center, but also at the university. A lot of great courses. So what's about excellence? I'm talking about excellence and excellence. During these 2 years, I was writing a lot of European projects, and it's also written there, excellence. It's a sole criteria for evaluation of any grant proposal. What does it mean? It's basically, I've made a whole list of things, translating the terms from research guidelines to normal languages with references. And I'm just sharing this one. The excellence, what they mean there is just better than average. And I told you, I'm an average guy by expectation, so to be an excellent, I would like to do better. So is it clearer now? Excellence is a mystery, but doing better than average is quite clear. It has a measure. Now we need to find an average and become better than that. That's what so remember, better than average. Very easy now. Center of better than average. And right here we are. Let me just give you some perspective. The first perspective is well known. That is comparing the feasibility of your research, which could be low or high, and then the risk type, which could be operational. That means you just buy a supercomputer and you can calculate almost everything with any method, or you can buy a synchrotron and then measure any XRD there. Or you can go conceptual. And conceptual means that you have a really cool idea what to research that no one else previously have considered, and you would like to test your hypothesis and find out how the nature works. So you can do like incremental research, which is just doing some year by year, year by year, year by year. You know how to do that, and somehow you are increasing your feasibility on that scale, but it's purely operational. That means like you buy a potentiostat and for 20 years you're measuring CDs. Doable. Does it ring a bell? As I see people smiling. And fishing expeditions, that could be also done. You just screen a lot of materials and eventually you find a good catalyst. That is also possible. What are we doing here in CHEAC is going somewhat quite feasible, because it's proven that high-entropy alloys, we can even synthesize them. And this is a kind of conceptual risk, because the whole idea of high-entropy alloys is about using them as a discovery platform. Is it right? Good. Now, this is a well-known graph. You can find it on the internet. This one I put together. So by analogy, your process could be like a roll that you start some kind of process for the first time, and you can optimize it up to industrial level. And then it works on a large scale. On the y-axis, you can have methods that you are using classical, like impedance, cyclical altimetry, density functional theory calculations, or you can do something novel, like machine learning. And again, the CHEAC is in this corner that sometimes we use very standard method, but in unconventional way. And sometimes we use machine learning or even training our own models, and we do cool stuff there. And also on this process level, the process is very important in CHEAC. I mean, the whole philosophy is not just getting published and getting articles and just making a product. But what I feel here is it's a lot about making a process of research. So maybe I have a slide on that. But do you need a comment on that? Do you have some? Do you understand? Or is it too much? Then I will show you some photos. Okay, so how it really works? No, I have some, again, a philosophical slide, then it will be easier. That is called holistic approach. Holistic approach is in many ways, like working all together, that's holistic. But also approaching research from combining experiments with theory, computations, synthesis, testing, it's also holistic. You're not just using one method, but you're using the whole arsenal, and moreover, you combine them in such a way that you can learn more, do research, like synergy research. And what's really here is that at CHEAC, this is actually a famous picture. For one of the grants I will do, it's almost the same. I'm kind of stealing, but I think it's also learning from excellent guys and trying to do better. What I feel in this center is we are evolving research in a very interdisciplinary way in those cycles. Have you heard about the research spiral? Of course, yes. We're at CHEAC, so this means repeating all this cycle many, many times. And then we are focusing on the process, because we are enjoying doing this, not for the purpose of publishing some articles immediately, but in order to actually getting it work and then doing better than average. In terms of people, I would like to stress that looking beyond each member's individual tasks. That's why we have every Thursday, we still do have meetings. And we start every morning with a meeting in each group. And then we focus on how everyone's work, communication, and well-being interact to create a productive team. So that's, I think, CHEAC is all about, this kind of holistic approach. How it really looks, for me, for example. Now, this is the building we are working in. That is a building there we are dreaming to work in for 2 years. That's the story. You must come here if you. Well, I'm just taking for those who will watch. Haven't heard about CHEAC. You just must come to here to listen to the story. This is a dream. There is a potential to work in a super cool building. Anyway, you come here probably by bike. Who comes here by bike? It's like Amanda.
I walk.
It's 80% at least. And you have the parking I mentioned. You can park, and you see it's open. Then you can take a shower if you wish. You go to this lobby full of young students. And then you go to the CHEAC, you enter, and there are a lot of people on this wall. That is the members of the CHEAC. One of the most important places, before you come here, you can go directly, but before at 9 o'clock we have a group meeting. And after that we go to this holy place. It's where you have, in my time it was only one coffee machine, now you have 2 coffee machines. Amazing. And then you see this is a corridor, very typical one, with open doors. So you can just come in and talk to people. And especially, you know, if you repeat this cycle, then any problem can be solved. Because you are stuck, you go for coffee, you go to someone, you resolve your problem, you go to the office, you have a problem, you repeat the cycle. And you can repeat it many times. Now I have made a picture that somewhere on the walls you will be seeing some posters about well-being and doing responsible research. So it's all over here, even on the walls. That's my personal thing. I like to exercise there, but it doesn't matter. And then this is the library, right? Kind of like, but this is where we have lunch and Beer Friday. For those who have never eaten the library, it's like a shock, but then you realize that's the only place where you can actually eat. That's the best place. Very cinematic, like you have a lot of books. Knowledge is all around. So, does it resemble your life cycle? Yes. So you can just repeat. You go for lunch. Oh, I forgot. So today we didn't have the fruit box. But I didn't check the reference, but what I remember that while reading some books and listening and watching a lot of videos, one of them was by Sapolsky. And Robert Sapolsky, you have heard about him? Yeah, okay? Yes, so biologist, yeah. He was talking about bonobo monkeys, why they are so friendly, and they have kind of banana plates. A plate with a kind of plate with bananas, and even if a foreigner monkey comes, they will offer a banana plate. And I was like, that's how it works. Here we have a fruit box, so it's very friendly. It will become a group. And the same way it worked in the kindergarten, in school for my kids, they also have some kind of habits of eating some food with your hands, and others can eat from the same plate with hands. That's why I just brought this high-entropy marmalade, so you can start sharing it. Try. The same idea. So there is even scientific explanation for that. Now, as I started to talk about my kids, now, if you recognize some place, just make a sound like this. Do you recognize some place? Okay, this is my beloved season where the magnolia flourishing, blooming. That's so beautiful. And I just would like to summarize with that. I came with a family, and it was a place to be happy for 2 years for all of the members. Not only for me at work at CHEAC, but for everyone else. Copenhagen is a great place. And with that, I need to kind of start summarizing that. I actually moved on. That was on the plan. I even stayed here a bit longer because my postdoc was 1.5 years for whatever reason. And then I stayed a bit longer here. And on my plan, I needed to go back to Estonia. I fulfilled, all goes well. So after that, I need to start thinking what is after I've learned at the Excellence Center. And I guess this should resonate with some of you, because in a while you also need to go. This is also an idea that you spread what you learn here. And what I would like to tell you that now European Union, and soon it will be in projects, I guess, they have developed the research comp. And this is the thing to self-analyze yourself. What are the skills? So remember that skills are important. Whatever you're doing right now, you're learning by learning from books, from others, through research, and you gain skills. And there are so many skills. Depending on that, your next step in the career will be actually guided by the skill set you have. So that's why I mentioned it's super cool that you have courses. And even if you think it's not really valuable to your precious research at this moment, for your skill box, it's really, really valued asset. And moreover, when we're talking about kind of career development, and have you heard about more? R. So you have, in different countries you have professorships, tenure positions, whatever. It's all complicated, even in Denmark. But in the whole European research area, there are only 3 steps. Who has heard about this? Never, ever. Okay, so now I'm informing you. There is one step. R1, very easy, PhD student. R2, very easy, postdoc. Actually, there are more, but just to communicate. R3, independent researcher, who might have even a group, a small group, or a funding. And R3 is absolutely independent researcher recognized in the field. So it's basically a professor. So the R3 could be assistant professor, maybe just a researcher like I am, but R4 is a professor, fully independent. So easy. And this diagram, by the way, shows that Denmark is very similar to where I study, and the research is Estonia. We have almost the same percentage of R1 and R2, the senior researchers, I would say. Okay, and so with that, what I wanted to stress again, that CHEAC is a great place to learn, then acquire some skills, and how do you qualify to that? For each of this R1, 2, 3, 4, you have a set of skills that you must master by this level. And that's so easy. So now you can check and think, what are you going to do? My question to you, especially for those who are already finishing the postdoc, Magnus, you're here, right? And some other, Hygge, you're also postdoc. You can think, what would be your 3 practices that you learned here and that you will definitely would like to apply in your research group? For a moment, just think about it. And also for PhD students in some time, what would you like to repeat what we have here at CHEAC in your own research later? And for me, these are open doors. And I'm probably the only one right now. We have also a long corridor. My door is always open. A director sits nearby and his door is always closed. But it's also written there like, you can come in or I'm occupied. She has a sign like this. Next step will be just opening the door when you are open. And then morning meetings are great. And there is also this book you haven't heard and read, it's Atomic Habits. But you don't need to read that. The main idea that whatever we do at 9 o'clock is right. Yes. There is a background and it's meaningful. And the holistic approach. So now I'm working in a group which each member even don't belong to the same chair, but we are united by this approach that we would like to have synthetics and theoreticians, me, and also those who do electrochemistry, and we just all together do something. So with that, I'm almost finished. I would really recommend to go to CHEAC, but I also need to say about myself and do advertisement for myself as well. Some contacts, feel free to contact me. I just put Gmail to be neutral to anything. And this is a map showing that I'm here in Estonia, and this is developing country. So I suggest you should visit me at the University of Tartu. Why? Because as a development country, it provides a lot of opportunities. So if you, for example, apply to Denmark, your chances to get Marie Curie are very low because you need to compete and you get over 95% to get the grant. It's very competitive. But if you go to Estonia and you get lower grades, but let's say over 80%, then you are supported by the European Union because you are going to a country they would like to develop. So they would like to bring excellence there, not the opposite way around. You see, they're trying to reach equilibrium. And after you get some excellence from here, it's a good idea to go somewhere where there is not enough of excellence. And even though if you don't even get this one, many countries like Estonia will provide you a special grant, national funding, to come. You're very welcome to do that. And of course, many other projects like twinning also based on that idea that we can collaborate. I think that's all. And we don't need to speak more because the beer is waiting for us, right? Let's see. Yes, that's all. Any discussion, questions? Thank you.